Sorry about the written instructions. I know they're not great. That's not my greatest thing. But I wanted to make a video for you to make it clear so you can see what it looks like and everything. So, sorry, what's wrong?
No red light. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, so this is what I referred to as part one, which was really confusing and silly of me to do. But, so this is what I do. I use quarter cup of chickpea flour, and when I do a cup, I kind of, where is it? I do just a little bit less because I'm guessing how much it is for a sifted cup, and so a sifted cup is a little bit less than a cup straight out of the tub, if that makes any sense. So it's not a full thing. So that's a quarter of a cup of chickpea flour, and that just goes in the bowl. And then we get a quarter of a cup of white spelt flour. And it's the same thing, it's kind of just a little bit less than a full. And then we use tapioca starch. Tapioca starch, right there, and 2 teaspoons. My measurements are never exact, so I kind of do that kind of thing and throw it in there. Oh, my tapioca starch is running out, but I have more. There we go. It goes in there, and then psyllium husk. I said that you can buy it in the big bags, and you can, but I used to use Metamucil, so now these are great containers for containing it. So I put in 2 teaspoons of psyllium husk, kind of rounded teaspoons. Then some sugar. There's my sugar jar that I painted myself because I'm so clever. 1 teaspoon. And a rough teaspoon. Go. And then you can use a plastic spoon or a stainless steel spoon, it doesn't matter. I like this spoon, it feels nice. Kefir, I use milk, 3/4 of a cup of kefir. So I fill it to the brim. There we go, and I just plonk that in there. Now, spoon. Wonderful spoon I was just talking about. Stir it up, and I think I'm going to get a close-up of this one. This. Okay, you can see it bubbling. And what I do is I stir it and I get a lot of the lumps out. What I do is I stir it and then I leave it for about 5 or 10 minutes, and then I stir it again. And this is what I mean when I said I let kefir do its thing. It feeds on the sugar. Excuse me. Feeds on the sugar and the other nutritious stuff that's in there, and it ferments, and because it creates a gas, that's what rises the, I don't know the technical specifications of it, but something like that. So we stir it, and I've got a lot of the lumps out now. And when I look at it again, it's going to be quite a bit thicker than this, because the psyllium husk as well thickens, and it gives a stickiness like gluten does. It's very, very good as a substitute. Alrighty, so that's going to do for that, and I'm going to leave it for, I'm going to cover it so the bugs can't get in, and then I'm going to leave it for 5 or 10 minutes. Okay, we're back, and it's been more like 20 minutes really. because I had to run around finding things. But this is the kind of tub I use. It's got a little clip thingy there that's flips down, it flips up, so that it's... I'm pretty paranoid about bugs, so that keeps them out. And then I put a tea towel over that, and that keeps them away. So anyway, that's what I do. So now, as you can see, it's gotten quite thick now after sitting. It's looking lovely. And what I forgot to do before was put herbs in, so I'm going to do that now. And it doesn't really matter, it's going to sit there for a while after this anyway. So I get some oregano, and I just put a little bit, whoops, maybe not that much, a little bit in there. And then maybe I should go this side so you can see. A little bit of basil, a bit of that, a little sprinkle, and a little bit of, garlic, yes. Now the garlic's a bit tricky because it's garlic powder, but it does tend to go dry and lumpy. So I get a little plate up here, and got a teaspoon, and I get just a little bit out, kind of maybe that much, and I put it on the little plate and just squish them up, squish them up, the lumps go really quickly. Should have done this before.
Fresh garlic would be fine too.
Oh yeah, fresh garlic would be good too, but this, it's easy, it can't go off, it's sitting there waiting for you. There we go. It's pretty good. And then we just scoop that in. You can have a little bit more, a little bit less, whatever you like. I probably normally do a bit more than that, but that'll do me for the moment. Well. Alrighty. So then, a little bit of coriander. I like coriander because it tastes nice and it's a bit cleansing. I normally get it, oops, wrong side. I normally get it in the bigger jars, but I just haven't been able to get it. There we go, good sprinkle of that one. And that's all sprinkly done in there. And then we stir that in nicely. It's getting a nice thick texture there. Right. There we go. Stir it in, stir it in, stir it in. And that's pretty good now, because the initial stir got a lot of the lumps out, and I've got the rest of the lumps out that might have been there. All the herbs are stirred in, and that's smelling quite nice, and that smell enhances as it's sitting. Very, very nice. So that just sits now for, I'll leave it for 4 hours. Always wash your hands beforehand. It's really obvious. And then I'll put that over there, put my nifty lid on, the little pop-up up. There we go. Tea towel over top, and that's going to sit there for about 4 hours. Okay, that was about 3.5 hours that I left it. So we're back again to do what I referred to in the instructions as part 2. So hopefully this will clear up the confusion. So this is the I've got a few flies flying around because it's really windy and quite warm here today, but not as hot as yesterday. So that's, you can see it's quite thick and it's really quite gunky. I don't know what word would describe that. It's kind of very thick and sticky, I guess. So there we go, that's good. So now we're going to add more ingredients to that. So what we have is half a cup of rice flour. So I get about that much, throw that in, and then half a cup of white spelt. And then quarter of a cup of chickpea flour, like that, and half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of sugar. And then we put in about a quarter of a cup of warm water. So I've got some warm water in a cup here, and I'm going to take out a quarter of a cup and just pour that in. And then just close that one up. And use this one, quarter of a cup of oil. It's olive oil, or you can use rice oil. Grapeseed oil is too thin. Having a problem with a fly. Okay, so a quarter of a cup of oil. And you want the baking tray, the pizza tray, close by while you're doing this, because you want to put it straight in. You don't want to be you don't want time to pass between finishing this and putting it on the tray, because it gets hard to handle. Oops. So then we stir that up. Stirring, stirring, stirring. And when it gets pretty mixed, then it starts to sort of let go of the spoon and let go of the bowl because of the oil. So mix, mix, mix. I can see the chickpea flour is not mixed in properly, so I've just got to mix that in. Make sure it's all mixed in there. You can see now how it's sort of letting go. It's pretty good, getting there. And then when it's kind of at that point, then just get that off the spoon, that on there. Then I like to use this little doodah thingy here. I don't know what it's called. I can't remember what it's called. But that makes it so easy on the wrist and the hand to mix. And it really mixes in the flours really well. So we do that for a little while. Then that's looking lovely. It's very nice. Sometimes I need to put in a little bit more warm water, but this time I don't. It's kind of like soft Play-Doh kind of thing. Now, a little bit of oil on the hands. So you really want to scrub your hands really well before you do this. I've got my baking tray already here. So, now this is how kind of tip and pull it out at the same time, and you can see that it's kind of like really soft kind of Play-Doh. Now I put it down on there like that, and I push it around with my palms of my hands kind of thing. And also what you can do is you can put it between two pieces of baking paper and roll it with a rolling pin. That works too, but I really like putting my hands in it, and I guess I'm a bit of a child, but I really like the feel of it. And you push it round. It takes a little while. It doesn't have to be exactly even. There we go, we're getting there. Up to the edges. Kind of smooth it out. A bit of a dance with the fingers. You get a few holes appearing, but don't worry about that because we're going to fill them in very soon. Push it out to the edge. A little hole just there, so we just push it around, and there we go. Hole no more. And push it onto the edge there. Over there. The baking paper just prevents it from sticking to the tray. It doesn't stick very much, but it does sort of stick to the edges. So that just prevents that. There we go, and that's beautiful. Alrighty, so then I cover it, and that's can be a little bit tricky. Get this little tray that actually came out of a roasting tray, baking tray, very handy. I put that over there, it kind of fits. And then I get this cake cooling tray, very handy. Put that over there like that. And then I get a tea towel. Right, just thought I might have forgotten something, but I haven't, I don't think. And just slip that underneath there. It's a little bit tricky, but we've got to keep the flies off. And I'll just grab another tea towel and put that over there. Like that. Feel the bottom of the tray and slip it underneath. Good idea I've been thinking about is getting a big box, a big one of those big plastic containers with a lid, and just put it in there. That would keep all the bugs and flies off. That would be pretty cool. So I'll do that one day. Okay, and that's pretty covered. Flies, things, I don't think can get in there. It's very successful normally. And that's it, and that sits there for 3 or 4 hours, and then we'll preheat the oven and bake. Okay, the dough's been in the pizza tray for about 3.5 hours, and so now I'm going to preheat the oven on 220 degrees. I've got it on, and I actually did this before, but I didn't have my microphone on, so there was no sound, so I'm doing it again. So I've got the timer on, but I actually set it for 20 minutes, and well, it's got 10 minutes to go now. So I'm going to cut up some veggies, and I will see you in about 10 minutes. Okay, this is the pizza after it's been, I forgot to turn my microphone on again. So I've started brushing it with a little bit of milk very quickly. I find that this makes the, keeps it from going too crunchy. So I do this on here. There we are. And you can see that it's risen a little bit looking very nice. And then I'm going to cut these bits off here. Right, so I'm cutting these bits off here because we don't need them so long in the oven. They don't have to be exact or anything. There we go, that's very nice. Okay, I'm going to put this in the oven for 7 or 8 minutes. I'll make it 8. Okay, my bell's gone and I'm taking it out of the oven. And there's the pizza base, all ready for loading up. It's a little bit drier, not too cooked, ready to go. So what I do then is I put on a bit of pizza sauce, which goes without saying really. I'm just checking that I'm switched on. I keep forgetting. Pizza sauce. Oh, it's very hot. Get it over reasonably even. Go. Spin it around, touching it very lightly because it is very hot. Very, very yummy. Okay, that's pretty good. And then I get a little bit of sprinkle of cheese, just a little sprinkle, and a little bit of ham on there. And then I just continue with my mushrooms and pineapple and whatever else you want on it. Okay, there's the pizza all loaded up and ready to go and looking pretty yummy. So now I'll just sprinkle a little bit of pepper on it and I'll put that in the oven for about 15 minutes and see how it's looking. So and gloves.
You're going to eat it because you can't paint.
This bit?
Yeah.
Maybe, and maybe not.
Whoa.
Here we go. Does that look yummy?
That looks pretty good.
Yummy, yummy, yum.
Just eat it.
And there it is. Yummy, yummy, yum. We're recording. Oops. There it is. Pretty good. Okay, so with that, we're going to have some kombucha. You want to zoom out a little bit again? You want to zoom out a little bit again?
I don't know which way to go. Whoops,
Yep, other way.
I'll have to get the hang of that.
That's it. And here we go. This is, I think this is pomegranate. It's either pomegranate or cherry. I can't remember which. But it's pretty nice. There's a little bit of apple in there. And that's what we're going to eat tonight. So,
Yummy.
Can you tilt it up so I can see my face?
Oh.
Yeah, it's a worry if it's too loose. Okay, it's getting dark now, so the picture's a little bit here and there, but thank you for watching, and I hope, Joe, that clears that up for you, and I'll have the recipe down the bottom of this film. It'll be down there, or it is down there. So, thank you, and I will do this again, and hopefully I'll get better at it. So, bye-bye, thank you for watching.